How are you this morning? It's Andrea, the martial arts woman, and we're going to talk about an interesting topic today: how martial arts really creates a successful woman. And I like this topic. I ran across an article recently, and it was on the Job Network. It was called 10 Traits of Successful Women. So I thought it would be really cool to sort of combine some of these traits, and I focus on 8 of them, and how martial arts actually helps us improve in these traits so that we can become successful women. What is it that makes that martial art woman successful in her life, in her career, in her family life, and the things that she does? And I thought it was a great topic. So some of the key terms that we're going to use here are assertiveness, empathy, passion, imperfection, faith, adaptability, courage, and gratitude. So we're going to talk about how these traits make a successful woman. And it's always interesting when you start to think about martial art women out there who are entrepreneurs, they're martial art instructors, they're school owners, they have successful careers. What is it that makes them successful? How do they find the success? And how does martial arts help them find that success? Would they be that successful, for instance, without having practiced a martial art? I read on the Job Network 10 Traits of Successful Women. I'm going to focus on 8 of those traits. First of all, what is womanhood? Because what makes us different? And the generic, I guess, definition that I found was womanhood is the state or condition of being a woman. And again, that doesn't answer a lot of questions, right? So I can relate my life as a woman being different from some of the childbirths that I've had. For instance, I've had 4 children. 3 of them were natural childbirths. Would I have the ability to get through those natural childbirths if not for my martial art training? I'm actually not sure, because I used a lot of breathing techniques in those childbirths that I learned from martial arts. So that helped me find success and become a mother. I've had 4 children, but 3 were completely natural and not really of my own choosing. I probably would have gone the other route. But since that didn't happen, I had to use the mindset, I had to use the breathing, and I attribute that to martial arts. Off that topic, back onto traits of successful women. First of all, assertiveness. And this is the ability to step forward with opinions and not apologize. How difficult is this these days? If you go on social media, and I'm on social media a lot, and I post photos and I post blogs, I post podcasts, and every now and again I kind of get the backlash or the, this isn't accurate, or, why are you doing this, or this doesn't make sense to me, or whatever that might be. And before it used to bother me in the beginning, I'd be like so upset. Somebody really didn't like that. But now I recognize that everybody has different opinions. Some people are very harsh, and I don't care anymore. So I'm much more assertive because of my martial art training and my martial art mindset, and putting that into action and saying, you know what, it doesn't matter what somebody else thinks. This is a work product that I've created that is true to me, and that's the way it is. And so I just push back and I say, hey, sorry you don't like it. Your opinion's valid. Enjoy your day, whatever it might be. It doesn't matter to me anymore. So social media and outreach and instructing and owning a school, they all require levels of assertiveness. And I think when you learn a martial art, you learn how to be assertive about yourself. You learn how to take control about who you are, and you decide who you are. And that's the very wonderful thing about learning assertiveness through martial art training and using it in life. Next is empathy. Empathy is really listening and understanding to others. It's not a trait that we all have. Some people like to talk a lot more than they like to listen. But the thing is, when you're a martial artist, you know that your instructor, or you hope that your instructor listens to you. And maybe it's not a verbal thing. Maybe they're just watching your body language. Maybe they're just seeing how you're reacting and knowing maybe there's something wrong. Maybe there's something they can help you with. Maybe there's something else that you want to tell them about your life to help you train better in your practice. So women have this sense of empathy also. And I think part of it for me, for instance, is from being a mother. But some people just have that wonderful sense of empathy and listening to others. I think martial arts helps you in this capacity because as a student, you really have to listen to instructions. You really have to listen to what your instructor is telling you, because oftentimes they're giving you more information than just what the move is. Sometimes it's about why that move is important, what that tradition was, how you can use it in your own life. There's so much you learn when you listen. And I think as a martial arts student, you learn to really listen, and that way you're learning empathy so that someday you'll listen to someone else and understand what they're going through. The next is passion, and I talk about passion a lot because I'm obviously very passionate about what I do. I have a blog. I have, which is the Martial Arts Woman blog. I have a book, The Martial Arts Woman. I have a podcast, The Martial Arts Woman podcast. You can see a trend there, but not everything I do is about women in martial arts. The blog is really about life and positivity in martial arts. So it's for everyone, and so is everything that I do, but definitely I have a passion and love what I do, and I strive to do it better and challenge myself. So what's yours? For many, martial arts is the passion. Learning a martial art is your fun, is your excitement, is what's important to you, because you can apply it to your life. So whatever your passion is, though, even if it's more than martial arts or something other than martial arts, make sure that you step forward and learn it. So when you're learning a martial art, you're learning about yourself, and you're learning that you're capable and that you have skills and unique talents. And when you learn that, you're able to hone your other passions, whatever they may be. So martial arts really is a great stepping stone to determining who you are and what passions you want to pursue in your life. You have to learn, many of us have to learn, that perfection is not possible. It's great to strive for perfection. It's great to work toward the best you that you can be. But we have to recognize at some point that our perfection is not the same as others' perfection. So there really is no such thing as perfection. You can do something the best you can do, and that's really your personal perfection, I guess. And this is one of the biggest martial art life lessons that there is, isn't there? Being a student is very challenging. You try different techniques. Oftentimes you can't succeed on the first try. There are skills that take time to learn, and you slowly and gradually learn that as long as you work hard, as long as you work diligently, you keep trying, you don't give up, that you will get that skill or technique. And maybe you won't be as good as some, maybe you'll be better than others, but there's a sense of who you are in that. And there's a sense of recognizing that imperfection is simply a part of life, and success occurs even when there's imperfection. In fact, success often occurs because of imperfection. It's because of imperfection that we push ourselves to try to become stronger. And that's where you find success in the long run. Faith is another huge, I guess it's a skill, really. It's a thought process. Many people don't believe in themselves. Many people do not. And I didn't for a long time until I learned martial arts, and I discovered that I could do so much more than I ever thought I could. Has that happened to you too? In your martial art training, right? You suddenly realize, wow, I can do this stuff. This is really cool. And I had no idea. So believing in yourself, though, in martial arts helps you succeed. It helps you achieve your goals, reach your belt levels, whatever it might be. Sit here in front of an audience and talk about your opinions about martial arts and womanhood. Whatever it might be, success is often based on faith and your belief in yourself. And so faith in yourself, in a higher power, in God, whatever your faith your personal faith system is, those all really come to life in your martial art, because you turn inward a lot of times when you're training in martial arts. You look inward to determine how you want to go forward, or if you feel stuck. And you have to really pull out that faith. You have to decide to believe in yourself in order to move forward. And that's like a really wonderful aspect of martial arts that people don't think about a lot, but it really requires you to believe in yourself. If you want to succeed in martial arts, if you want to succeed in life, you want to do all the things that you have in your heart, you need to believe in yourself. And once you get that self-belief, then trust me, you can do anything. Never thought I'd be sitting here talking to people. Never thought I'd be interviewing women across the world for my podcast, the Martial Arts Woman podcast. Never dreamed any of that. But I decided to believe in myself along the journey. And every time I had a thought, I was like, hey, maybe a podcast would be cool. I did it. I stepped forward. I didn't just push it aside, because I believed in myself. And that's what martial arts taught me. And that's why I find success in doing the things I do. They're not always successful endeavors. There are many things I've started and just didn't work out. But they are successes because I did it. I took the step forward, and you never know what's going to happen. Adaptability is something else that martial arts teaches you, especially self-defense. You can't just know one self-defense technique for when somebody grabs your neck, because if they can figure out what you're doing and block it, or not allow you to actually perform that technique, you can't get out of the move. So you need adaptability. You need to be able to try one thing, then another thing. And the same thing in forms or katas. If you can't quite get that kick right, you need to adapt to who you are. You need to do that in life. Handling stress and handling change is not easy. You may feel stressed out in our current pandemic times. You may feel worried about what the future holds. But you need to have that adaptability in your mind to say, okay, I have today, I have right now. I can make a difference right now. I can make the changes that I need for myself. Part of what I've done in this pandemic has been a lot more vocal here on Facebook Live in order to inspire others and encourage others. I know people are feeling down. I know people are feeling in a rut. I want to be adaptable based on my skills and techniques and talents to be able to reach out. Yeah, I just had somebody question something on a Kung Fu site, because I posted my podcast there, and they had a question about the photo that I had on the podcast. I'm like, you know what, this podcast is not about this photo or this pose. It's about a martial art woman, so give it a listen. Stop being so critical. I have to be adaptable anyway, and that's something that martial arts taught me to take the high road. There's always options, there's always obstacles. Take the high road, and that's being adaptable. Another thing that martial arts taught me that's very critical and key for successful women, and that is courage. Courage is making calculated decisions and taking risks that propel you forward. Like self-belief, courage is another difficult obstacle. It requires you to not only believe in yourself, but to push your limits. And a lot of people are not comfortable doing that. But in martial arts, you're forced to push your limits. I never in the beginning really liked sparring, and I never liked breaking boards. I didn't have the courage really to do it. I was afraid of it, and I didn't want to do it. And yet my instructors patiently pushed me forward into these aspects of my martial art program. And eventually I was able to do what I needed to do. And I didn't have the fear anymore. And that was because I cultivated a sense of courage. And successful women today, whether they're entrepreneurs or school owners, whatever success they have, a lot of times it's because they had the courage to step forward. In martial arts, there's a lot of social media that we can be on, but you need the courage. You need the courage to be there. I I finally gained courage through my martial art training to be who I want to be and to have my own opinions and to share them. I don't push my opinions on anyone. If you want to listen to me, great. If you don't, that's good too. You have your own opinions. But courage is one thing that martial arts gave me, that martial arts taught me. And, you know, I've never looked back. I've always recognized the fact that I'm courageous in being who I am and stepping out and making a platform for women and being a voice for martial art women and for making change and for being innovative and pushing forward. So martial arts gave me that courage, and that's why I find success in who I am. And finally, gratitude. The article that I looked at about 10 traits of successful women stated that gratitude is so important, that success only happens with the help of others. And that's one thing that we really fail to recognize sometimes. But when you look at your martial art practice, you know that you wouldn't have improved, you wouldn't have earned higher rank, you wouldn't have passed tests, you wouldn't have broken through your own personal obstacles if it wasn't for other people. And anytime you have a success, whether it's writing a book or a popular podcast, it's other people who really help to make up those parts of you. And taking time to say thank you is one of the most important things that you can do. But it's also a trait that martial arts teaches you, to be grateful for your instructors, your peers, for anyone who's trained you, inspired you, other martial artists, whatever it might be. Have that sense of gratitude for the fact that they really helped pave the way for you in your martial arts and your martial arts successes. Keep in mind those who support you, and whether your success is professional or martial art related or whatever it might be, your passions, your purpose, just know that others helped get you there. Just like any of you listening to this today, truly appreciate you. I think together we can definitely make the world a better place. And if I didn't believe that, I would not be here. Assertiveness, empathy, passion, imperfection, faith, adaptability, courage, and gratitude. Martial arts has a hand in all of that. And this article was talking about the traits of successful women, but these traits can be applied to anyone who wants to find success. And if you relate it to your martial art practice, I know that you're going to have very special successes in your life. So thanks for hanging out with me and chatting a little bit about how martial arts helps to create a successful woman. But you know what? Martial arts creates a successful everyone. And no matter where you are or who you are, I hope your martial art practice is something very positive and productive for you. So get out there and be successful. Thanks for joining me again, and I'm sure we'll chat again real soon. Have a wonderful day.